Hey guys, this is Sorin, and I want to thank you for checking out my guide to the 890 jump mission introduced in patch 3.8. In this video, I will be breaking down the different objectives of this mission and my strategies for completing them, and generally sharing my experiences from the different parts of the mission. To begin with, you will need to take out the two enemy Cutlass Blacks that are guarding the hijacked 890 jumps location. I believe these are piloted by slightly superior AI, as they do use missiles, have an upgraded weapons loadout, and fly with ability above the average AI. As long as you have moderate skill in ship-to-ship combat, I think that any ship with a decent weapons loadout should be sufficient for completing this part of the mission. This mission has three parts. First, you will have to ensure all 20 hostiles are eliminated. You will need to minimize civilian casualties, really meaning that you just can't kill any yourself. And finally, you will have 4 minutes from boarding the ship to find and neutralize a hacking terminal that has been installed in a random location within the ship. All right, let's do this. So we're going to enter the ship. Now, like I said, from the moment we step into the door, that's when the game actually spawns in the hacking device. So we now have 4 minutes to find it. Now, as soon as we step in, we're going to immediately jump back out and actually come look in the cockpit on the center stack, because you can see that is a location where it can spawn. If it's there, then we would have simply worked our way to the bridge first in order to disable it, so we could do it within those 4 minutes. But yep, then we're going to jump back in the side door, and I'm going to show you kind of my route to hit the 9 locations so far, at least, that I've identified where it can spawn. If you guys are aware of any other, I'd love it if you would let me know, and I'll add it to some comments on this video. So you can see here on the hall there's 2. There's one down there we just passed, and that's actually what we need to unhack. But for this run, I'm gonna actually just show you my route. So I check right across from this door near those little couches on both sides. Guys can spawn in all of these bedrooms. They're on that left wall when you first walk in. One can spawn, and then here on the right, one can spawn. Not here. And there aren't usually any guys that spawn down here. I won't say it could never happen, but I haven't really found much of an issue with that. So from here, we're actually going to hit the restaurant floor, because there's 2 more bedrooms there. And I think so far I've seen a terminal spawn in 2 out of the 4 bedrooms. So I think it's likely that it could spawn in any one of those. So on this room, it's actually on that left wall. I wouldn't have seen it had it been there. I already had seen where the one was on this run, so I think I just wasn't looking as thoroughly as I should, but definitely worth checking those out. So there is someone in that. There's people that usually spawn in the restaurant and the conference room area, so don't wander back there yet. We are gonna do that eventually. So we're gonna come back down to the spa floor, and then we're gonna take this kind of service elevator that's near the escape pods down to engineering. And the reason we're going down here is this is where from engineering you have a good view of the location in the back hangar bay where a hacking terminal can spawn. All right, so it would have been on that back wall. I don't know if you saw in the little caption I showed that is where it is. So it's not there. Sometimes I draw aggro. I haven't really noticed that they'll run into that back hallway to come fight me. So we're gonna go to the second floor, or the crew deck, and we're gonna run back to the med bay and check there. Again, I'm not being as thorough because I've already seen it, but as you can see in the little clip above, that is where another location that a terminal can spawn. At this point, I realized that even though I was recording this principally to show you all this run, or the route rather, I had not deactivated the hacking terminal. And so I'm going to run back and go cut that off. so that if we do end up finishing this mission, then I'll at least get the full 45,000, which seems silly to leave. I don't know, probably 17,000 of the mission is probably wrapped up in this one objective. Leave that undone. Okay, so from here, honestly, we're kind of home free. You can actually die as many times as you want, and you'll still get completion. You just have to keep flying ships back here. For the most part, the Cutlass Blacks won't respawn. I have seen them occasionally, but really now you just need to clear out all the hostiles. So here you can see I went ahead and equipped med pins, which are, I think, an absolute must, especially when you're soloing this, because the reality is, you know, even if you do a great job shooting, sometimes they just stay alive a little longer than they should and get some shots on you, so you need to be able to heal. There we go. You always got to test your gun, as I just did there, before you enter an engagement, sadly. And then I obviously loaded a whole bunch of extra clips for this weapon. So you can do this mission with the P8, with the Custodian, SMG. I personally really like the P4 because it seems to just be a little bit more accurate, and these guys do go down quite a bit faster with headshots, and I just can more consistently get them with this gun. So you'll notice that these guys are kind of not responding when I'm on the other side of the glass, so they can't seem to really see through it very well. Additionally, it obviously does block their fire, which is great. So this area I actually think is the most tricky, for me at least, to clear out in the whole of the 890 mission. And that's because, and in this one run it didn't happen as much, but sometimes a lot of guys will actually congregate on the area behind me right now, just on that balcony, and I have to kind of get in line with them to shoot them. So there you go. I just took some shots even though I was shooting him constantly, but that did the trick. So I want to show you a trick for killing those guys on that back rail that sometimes give me trouble. They actually will shoot at you as if the wall were not there and miss you, obviously, because the wall is blocking their bullets, whereas you as a player can use your intelligence and simply aim above the wall at the portion of them that is showing, and you can actually pick people off pretty easily here doing it that way. So while I just kind of run around on the bridge for whatever reason, I want to show you that if you happen to need to get into this front hangar bay and it's closed, if you take your ship and shoot at it, then the door will actually open. So just wanted to share that as a cool tip. So here we are heading into the restaurant portion of the ship. I usually find there's 2 or 3 people in this area, so definitely good to use extreme caution. Some weird lighting going on makes the headshots look like they're like spraying green spores or something when they die. There it is. Oh man, usually I love the sun behind things, but not today, Stanton. It's too bright. Alright, so I've cleared out the main atrium, cleared out the dining area. I've never really seen anybody down in the spa area, so that area is pretty clear. I think next we'll do the back hangar. So I'm going to go ahead and come down. Sometimes the elevators actually stop working in the ship, and so I think it's good to note where this ladder is. It can be useful so you don't have to lose the mission. So let's see. We should have a number of guys still back here. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I can see, and I think there's maybe 1 or 2 below us, so maybe 7 people. I will note sometimes there are bad guys that spawn or move during the mission, so I always check this back hallway before I pull this room down here, simply because I've had people run out of that area and shoot me in the back as I'm doing this, so I think it's always worth checking that. You can use this kind of little staircase and stair rail to get a couple kills pretty easily here. I've had mixed results with standing on these stairs, shooting down off them. Sometimes it seems that the NPCs can shoot through them, which is no bueno. So I've kind of become a little bit leery of walking down on those stairs and shooting people. So as you can see, you know, we've still got 3 people there, so that's quite a bit of firepower if you did get in view. So we're gonna actually hop down to engineering, and we're gonna take them out from that door that we poked our head out of earlier when we were checking to see if the hacking terminal had spawned down here. Alright, and actually that looks like there were more right there than I thought there were. So, you know, I recognize that there's probably faster ways to do this, but I feel like for me as a solo player, or at least doing this solo, it's worth it to just be a little more cautious. So this is why we want to have lots of med pins. And then anytime like now that you have a small break where you can re-equip some more, you only can hold 2 at a time, and you have to go ahead and re-equip 2 more. Now, I've had issues that if I only have 1 slot equipped, for whatever reason, sometimes they fail. So I do recommend that you always keep 2 equipped. All right, now I want to show you what the whole minimize friendly casualties is all about. So here you can see in the front hangar, oftentimes when you arrive, you'll actually see a firefight going on between the 890 Jump security forces and the pirates. And so when you come into this situation, sometimes they're still fighting, in which case you can just kind of help them if you want by killing the pirates. Or sometimes all the pirates are dead and there's just the security forces standing in there. But the important thing is just to make sure you don't accidentally attack one of the security forces. I know I've come to a situation where they had actually wiped out all the hostiles, and I killed one of them on accident, and then of course did not successfully complete the mission. So just want to give you a warning about that. Also, it is far from necessary to use a sniper rifle to clear out this front hangar room. Quite honestly, I could have done it from inside a lot faster, but to me there was additional risk involved, and honestly I was going to have to go outside the ship anyway, so figured that it's just safer and easier to go ahead and use a sniper rifle from out here to knock these guys out. Alternatively, you can use any of the other submachine guns to kill them from out here. I suppose you could also use a pistol if you just wanted to. But yeah, it's a real safe, easy way to finish off the last several people that are in here. All right, well, I'll go ahead and do that in the video, but want to take this time just to thank you so much for checking out this video. I know CIG probably will continue to maybe add some locations, so I'm going to go ahead and list the ones that I'm aware of in the comment section or in the description of this video, or maybe I'll pin it at the top comment. But if you guys have seen it in any other locations, I'd really appreciate it if you wouldn't mind just letting me know where those are, and I'll add those just so we can kind of have that as a community resource, and honestly just so I can do this mission even more easily than it already is. Yeah, again, just really appreciate you taking the time to watch this. Hope that if you enjoyed the video, you'll consider giving it a like, and if you like this content and want to see more, hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel. That's it, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Thanks a lot.